How you doing, YouTube family? Today is Wednesday, October the 8th, 2025. It's your man, Big D, and I'm back with another one. Want to thank all you good folk out there in YouTube land for continuing to rock out with my son and I. We greatly appreciate you. Thank you. Well, family, I'm back with another video. And in this video, family, we got more drama going on down here in the FLA, down here in Hillsborough County. That's right. We got more ish going on at the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office. So, just to bring you up to speed, we know that there has been allegations of high-ranking people over in that agency that allegedly, during the course of their career, they've been cheating. They've been going to these advanced training courses. They've been having to turn in all various kind of projects to be promoted to captain. And whoever this Roush guy is, the guy that is basically doing all the work for these people, he getting paid. That's right, I said it. I tell you what, if anybody's angry, I bet it's him. I can only imagine how many law enforcement officers around the state of Florida, if not outside of the state of Florida, have been soliciting his services. So I can only imagine how much spare change this good professor or whoever he is making. So now we find that there have been allegations that people have been cheating on their the coursework. They've not been doing their work. They've been paying this phantom guy who all we know is his name, and nobody's yet to put a face with a name. And he's saying that he's helped the many law enforcement officers. So basically, this man basically saying that he has helped a whole bunch of law enforcement officers basically cheat. That's right. The same MFs who gonna pull you over and judge you harshly and gonna mishandle you, all because they think they got some false sense of power because they toting the gun and the badge. See, family, it's like this. Yeah, I used to do that. That used to be what I did. But, I always tried to conduct myself in a way that once I left that career field, that when I bump into people who I had, interactions with when I was working, they ain't got no smoke for me. Because they know at the end of the day, hey, man, it ain't nothing personal. It is not nothing personal. I come to work, I do a job. I'm not coming to F with you, but at the same time, if I catch you slipping, I gotta do what I gotta do. It ain't nothing personal. You ain't gotta worry about me calling you out your name. You ain't gotta worry about me putting no fake charges on you. Whatever you did, that's what's gonna go in the paperwork, and that's what you're gonna be held accountable for. So I always kept it like that. But other folk who that we seeing that are being that are resigning in mass, these high ranking people who, when I listen, when you have worked at a place for a little bit of years, you know people, you work with people, you worked alongside people in the same unit as people. So you have people that have used this whoever this guy, this professor, to basically do their coursework for them, and now they are being allowed to basically resign. What resign mean? They still gonna keep their monies. Fire means you get no monies. And once you get to be a certain rank in that agency, you work at the whim of the sheriff. Once you get to the rank of, I want to say, captain, You work at the whim of the sheriff. There's no more civil service over there. There's no more checks and balances over there. There's nobody to say, well, hey, hold on now. You just how you just gonna put a case on this man? How you gonna put a internal affairs investigative case on this man? And really and truly, this man ain't do nothing, but just told you the way that the IS is. But you can't handle that. And that's what you're gonna run into with certain types of people who work in certain types of jobs. They gonna think they better than other folk because they think they have some false sense of power. So with all that going on, now we find that we have a so we have a letter that was drafted by a detective that resigned from the agency, the sheriff's office. And this detective drafted this letter to the office of Governor Ron DeSantis. And this person is calling for an investigation to be done into the ish that's going on over at the agency. And to keep it a buck, I kind of agree with it. In fact, I agree with it 100,000%. Because I don't think it stops there. I don't think it stops with just a few people. No. A few is like maybe 2 or 3. No, MF, it's more than a few. It's a whole lot of people who this man done got paid to do their work for. Man, y'all sending these people to these schools, and the taxpayers are paying for this. They're paying for this. The taxpayers are paying for this. And these MFs ain't even doing their own coursework. Family, I ain't mean to go on a rant. I ain't mean to get all wound up, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to run this investigative clip, and you will see just exactly who I'm talking about, what I'm talking about, and why I'm saying it.
Good evening, I'm Keith Cate.
And I'm Stacy Scheibel. Thank you for joining us. A former detective with the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office is calling for Sheriff Chad Chronister's resignation. On top of that, a community activist is demanding an independent FDLE investigation into that agency.
Some of the sheriff's top leaders are facing academic cheating allegations, as we've mentioned here. They have been named in an internal affairs investigation. 8 on your side investigator Brittany Muller joining us in studio with the latest developments on this.
Keith, Stacy, good evening. A captain resigned and 2 colonels and another captain by the name of Zelida Stearns are under internal investigations for allegations of academically cheating. Now, a former HCSO detective and a community activist separately wrote letters to state leaders calling for independent investigations.
These circumstances of late have opened this door for us to actually show the public that we've been talking about for several years.
Now, family, let me say this. I know this man. Worked with this man, alongside this man in the same specialized unit. So I always known the dude to be a good dude. Me personally, I've never witnessed him put no cases on nobody who ain't deserved no cases. I ain't never witnessed this man talk ill to anybody, don't matter what their race was or gender was. He was always pretty much even keel around me. So I would like to believe that if he was that way around me, then he must be that way when he's not around me and when he's in the performance of his, performance of his job duties. So, I just want to put that caveat out there.
James Stahlschmidt is a former HCSO detective who served from 1999 until his resignation in 2018. In this letter signed by Stahlschmidt and sent to the governor's office, he is demanding the removal or resignation of Sheriff Chad Chronister. He claims Sheriff Chronister and his command staff have been consistently mired in controversy, with multiple members under investigation or previously disciplined.
I left on my own will. I was pretty much fed up with how I saw some cases handled.
Sheriff Chronister says Stahlschmidt's internal affairs file contains multiple investigations for allegations of untruthfulness, violations of general proficiency, and abuse of the sheriff office's equipment and vehicles.
Now hold on now. Now hold on. I heard all that. I heard all that, but let me say this. That whole internal affairs, the whole litany of internal affairs investigation that this man allegedly had when he was at the agency. Well, let me tell you one thing about them damn internal affairs investigations. Hey, one day you could be going, you could be a superstar, minding your business, ain't bothering nobody, and the next minute you could be the subject of an internal affairs investigation, a bogus internal affairs investigation. So much so that you leave before you want to, and then you levy a lawsuit. But then, you levy a lawsuit and it goes before a judge that is still a sitting judge down in the 13th, and she sides with them. And I get it. She's not worrying about the law. She's worrying about protecting her pockets and her interests. So it's easy to watch somebody's rights be violated and know they're being violated, but you refuse to do the right thing because you know that when it comes time for you to run for your seat again, if you cross this man right here on this picture, that you may stand to have out the blue some candidate running against you, and you may wind up losing, my good lady, my good judge. You know who you are. So the fact of the matter is that this whole IA stuff. Let me tell you something. If you stand for what's right and you go to work standing on business and you call it the way it is, you gonna have a problem. You may get a little bit of rank. You ain't gonna rank out. You're not gonna rank out like his boys, because his boys gonna bend at the knee and they gonna kiss a whole lot of ASS while others will not. And the people who are solid performers, those are the ones that are passed by. The people who come there with master's degrees when half of y'all was just getting your just trying to get working on your associates, let alone a bachelor's. But a lot of minorities come to the agency with higher education and still yet get passed over. Explain that. But yet and still, when they do promote the minorities, look what you come with. Look what the outcome is. Listen, I don't wish bad on nobody. I surely most certainly don't. But if you are put in a position and the universe bless you with the ability where you can make a whole lot of money doing a whole lot of nothing because you ain't no damn Sherlock Holmes, it ain't like you no master investigator, and you just so happen you cool with the big guy. You know what I'm saying? You cool with him, and he gonna bless you and look out because he know you gonna bend at the knee. And even if something is wrong, and you know it's wrong, you won't call it out. So when I see stuff like this, and I know these MF personally, listen, I sit back and I smile because I know at the end of the day, half of y'all think y'all better because of, you know what I'm saying, because of the color of your skin. See, that's the problem. I ain't gonna say all white people think like that, but a lot of them do. They think because they skin complexion, they skin tone, they think they better than everybody else. But look what happened in the end. Look how the Almighty have fallen down. As I always said, be careful who you piss on your way up, because there may come a time that you may take a fall. And them same people you pissed on, you know what you got coming, my good sir, my good lady. So don't my family, don't let the good my good sheriff, taint the picture and muddy the water and say, oh, well, he had a litany of internal affairs investigation. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I would suspect so if he not kissing your ASS. Yeah, it's easy to fabricate those bogus internal affairs investigations. And the investigators who are investigating these bogus made up investigations, they are sworn and duty bound to do the right thing. And if it's not anything that needs to be that rises to an IA investigation, they are supposed to tell whoever, don't matter who it is, it can be the sheriff. No, sir, this is not a lawful order. Why? But okay, I get it. You don't want to tell your boss no, even if you know your boss is wrong. If he telling you to launch a unwarranted internal affairs investigation against someone, you know your boss is wrong. Okay, I get it. You don't have the cojones to do the right thing and stand up for what's right. That's fine. I get it. But what you should do is at the end of it, at least unfound the internal affairs investigation. At least unfound it to say that there was, yeah, allegations were made, but there was no merit to it. But you won't do that. You'll look into an unwarranted IA investigation that's bullshit, and then you will sustain it and you will put a black mark on a poor employee's work history, his work file. And to people that work in law enforcement, that means a lot. To know that you did the job for a number of years and you did it without any having to hurt nobody, having to take no lives, basically having never gotten in trouble, had a clean work slate, always at work. That means a lot, especially to people from my generation. Don't matter if it's in law enforcement. You could be at the fire department. Hell, you could be at the damn working at the VA hospital. Wherever you at, you went to work and you did a good job. And no matter where you work or who you work for or who your employer may be, if you know you take your ass to work every day, you do everything them people ask of you, and out the blue, for whatever the reason, they come for you and they fabricate some BS, you can imagine how that feels because now you have a black mark on your work history. So, nah, all this stuff about, then you want to say, abuse of sheriff's office equipment and vehicles. My good sir, man, do not, do not go there because I know everybody else know that them unmarked vehicles that y'all high-ranking people get assigned, like y'all drive them MFs like they y'all personal car, like y'all went over to Dodge or Chevrolet or whoever, and you filled out the paperwork and it's in your name. No, it's in the agency's name. And those high-ranking people drive them cars like it's theirs. Like they own that MF. And it ain't theirs. It belongs to the taxpayers. It belongs to the citizens of Hillsborough County. I know it happens. I know it happens. Don't sit up and say he was abusing the equipment because and the vehicles and whatnot. What does that mean? He was a detective. He was issued an unmarked car, and he had every right to drive it. He can drive it. It's an unmarked car. It's a regular damn car. It's a regular damn car. Look, it don't look no different than the regular car driving up the road. Only difference is it's a undercover police car. That's all it is. And they allowed to drive it. We were allowed to drive them. So don't sit up and talk about unauthorized use of equipment. Y'all always want to damn try to muddy the water. You always want to try to degrade somebody, try to take somebody's life and saying, well, they're disgruntled. They're disgruntled. No, my good sir. It ain't MFs ain't disgruntled when you know what you've been doing is wrong. That's how you became sheriff. On that good old boy system. That's how you got it. But you want to sit here, you want to play this game. Okay, no problem.
8 on your side has told you Chief Deputy Anthony Collins resigned in July. Collins admitted to hiring a man named Robert Roish.
He paid somebody to do his coursework at the prestigious FBI National Academy.
And since then, the sheriff's office says Captain Laura Rivera put in her resignation on Thursday. Amid allegations she had paid Roish to write her captain's project for her.
And they're able to resign or retire at full retirement and walking away. So that in whole, you have to question who's in charge, but who's investigating the investigators.
HCSO says Colonel Michael Hannaford is now under investigation for also hiring Roish to write a report relating to a project. And so is Colonel Chris Rule for hiring Roish to write a research paper for a class with FDLE. But
You know, family, it's amazing. It's amazing when you sit here so many years later and you see the same people who you work side by side in the same unit with. Man, and you see the BS they going through. Man, I tell you, the fact of the matter is this. These people came up in a ecosystem where if you cool with whoever the man is on the way up, he gonna look out. He gonna bring his little crew up with him. That's just what it is. That's just the ecosystem of law enforcement. Sometimes they get it right. Sometimes they get it wrong. But for the most part, most leaders at the top, sheriffs, chiefs of police, they want people surrounding them. They're going to promote the people that's going to bend at the knee and pretty much just going to go along with whatever they say, even if it's wrong, even if it's immoral, even if it's perhaps illegal. But this is what they do.
Stahlschmidt claims there are even more, but the sheriff's office disputes those claims, adding the office remains committed to a complete, thorough, fair, and transparent investigation into any misconduct allegations.
And I think that the State Attorney General's office should take over this entire investigation and apply criminal charges where they should be applied for fraud.
In a statement, Sheriff Chronister writes, as with any internal inquiry, we will follow established procedures to ensure the facts are gathered objectively and any appropriate actions are taken based on evidence, not speculation.
Some may say you're a disgruntled former Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office employee. What would be your response?
Absolutely, I am.
And Stahlschmidt is not the only one. Community activist Anthony Gilbert wrote this letter to the Lieutenant Governor's office demanding an independent FDLE investigation as well as transparent and criminal accountability.
How far does this go? How untrustworthy are they? So if they're having this misconduct from the top levels, from colonels to captains, what does it say about the street level? We just want to make sure that everybody is held accountable.
Sheriff Chronister continues to write, I remain committed to accountability and transparency, which includes investigating employee misconduct. The integrity of this entire organization depends on confronting issues directly, uncovering truth, and taking appropriate action.
So right now, it's still an internal affairs investigation. But what about this idea of sending it to an outside organization? I mean, the Attorney General, I mean, as this gentleman mentioned.
Right. We don't know that right now. We don't know the status of any outside agency coming in. We have reached out to the Florida Attorney General's office, the Hillsborough County State Attorney's Office, FDLE, as well as the FBI. These agencies have not gotten back to us, but it's important to note here, these are agencies and offices that typically don't reveal whether or not that they have an ongoing, pending, active investigation. So there's a lot of questions remain here, and we're going to see this continue to play out.
All right. Thank you, Brittany. And if you have something you would like Brittany
Well, family, there you have it. The saga continues to unfold, but it doesn't surprise me. You know, the thing that really bothers me most is that, man, them folks was making a whole lot of money doing a whole lot of nothing. How could you fumble your bag like that? How could you fumble your bag like that? How could you? You gonna play with your monies. But not only that, man, it's sad. It's sad, man. You know, listen, I'm not trying to sit up and say I'm no damn no A plus, B plus scholar student or no not that. But hey, let me tell you something. At least, you know, I try to just look at life like this, man. If the people paying you to do a job, do the job. If the people, you know what I'm saying, paying you to do the coursework, man. You gotta put in the work. Gotta put in the work. And when you don't, and people like this continue to get promoted, this is the outcome. But I agree. They need to bring an outside entity, an outside agency needs to do an independent investigation. And I am not going to be a bit surprised as to how deep this rabbit hole goes. I got a feeling, got a feeling that, and you know what? We're gonna leave it like that, family. We're gonna just gonna see how it unfolds. But I got a feeling that, oh, this thing go a lot deeper. Just gotta get a different set of eyes looking at it. Cause this whole, oh, we gonna make sure it's a fair and impartial investigation. No, no, nope, nope. As long as anybody in that agency is investigating anything, it would not be fair and impartial. It needs to be an outside agency that needs to come in and do a thorough investigation and fight. Probably need to be maybe two, so they can bring some criminal charges. Because I am pretty sure that there have been some violations somewhere. Like I say, they can say whatever they want about the the detective and whatnot. They can say whatever they want about him, Saul Smith. But fact is that, hey, I ain't never hey, around me, he was always solid. And I never really questioned if you know, was my safety gonna ever be in danger? Was I gonna ever, you know what I'm saying? Do I need to watch this dude? Is he, you know what I'm saying? Is he grime? I never got that from him. I just keep it a buck. He was always solid around me. But now, other people that I work with, the ones that's kind of like high ranking, that's, oh, now them motherfuckers being um forced to like abandon ship, but still allowed to basically get their money. Oh, I was always suspect to them. I never really never really trusted them. I never felt like they had my best interest at heart. You know what I'm saying? So I always had to keep my head on a swivel. But that's how it is, family. But what y'all think? Y'all think the rabbit hole goes deeper than this? Y'all think it goes all the way up to the top? Well, family, always remember, be more tomorrow than you were yesterday. Peace.